The Galactic Union was a complex network of species, planets, and politics, an intricate web of alliances, treaties, and mutual respect. Among its members, some were renowned for their power, others for their cunning, and a few for their sheer ruthlessness. But none were feared as much as the Vithari, known simply as the deadliest beings of the galaxy. For centuries, the Vithari had remained neutral, their presence a silent warning in the far reaches of space. No one dared provoke them, for it was whispered that their wrath could obliterate entire star systems. Humanity had grown rapidly over the past century, expanding their reach into the stars. Their technology had evolved, their fleets had grown, and their influence was spreading. Yet with ambition often came recklessness. It was during an exploratory mission near the uncharted edge of the Vithari territory that the first mistake occurred. The Starship Intrepid was tasked with surveying a promising but dangerous nebula. The crew consisted of some of the best scientists and pilots humanity could offer. Among them was Captain Reed, a calm but bold leader, known for pushing boundaries. As the Intrepid navigated the swirling gases, sensors detected an unidentified signal. The ship approached cautiously, unaware that the source was a Vithari outpost disguised beneath the nebula's deceptive veil. Despite all warnings in Coalition data archives, the Intrepid sent an exploratory probe toward the signal. The probe inadvertently triggered a security mechanism, a silent alarm to the Vithari. Within moments, the Intrepid was surrounded by stealth vessels, fast, lethal ships capable of striking before their presence was detected. Captain Reed ordered evasive maneuvers, but the Vithari strike was swift and precise. A warning shot disabled the ship's communication array. An encrypted message echoed through the Intrepid's internal comm system. "Congratulations. You have initiated conflict with the galaxy's deadliest beings. Prepare for annihilation." The Tau message left the crew stunned. Panic rippled through the ranks, but Reed maintained his composure. "We don't want war," he said firmly. "We're explorers, not fighters." But the Vithari did not respond. Back on Earth, the news sent shockwaves through the government and military leadership. The Vithari were a species spoken of only in legend, ruthless warriors, masters of technology and strategy, utterly merciless. To those who crossed them, emergency meetings convened, diplomatic channels scrambled. But the Vithari did not wait for talks. Suddenly, entire colonies at the frontier began experiencing mysterious attacks. Their ships were disabled without warning. Their communications jammed. The Vithari were striking hard and fast, showing no mercy. Human fleets were mobilized, but their weapons seemed ineffective against the Vithari's advanced defenses. The galaxy's deadliest beings were not just powerful, they were intelligent and patient hunters. Despite the overwhelming odds, humanity refused to surrender. Scientists worked around the clock, studying Vithari technology, seeking weaknesses. Pilots trained relentlessly, preparing for a fight they hoped to survive. Among the defenders was Lieutenant Maya, a pilot known for her tactical genius and unshakable resolve. During a skirmish near the Gamma Expanse, Maya's squadron was outnumbered and outgunned. But using unconventional tactics inspired by human ingenuity and unpredictable maneuvers, they managed to disrupt the Vithari formation and escape with minimal losses. This small victory sparked hope. It reminded everyone that humanity's strength was not just in technology but in adaptability, creativity, and spirit. As the war dragged on, humanity learned more about the Vithari. They were not merely warriors, they were a civilization bound by strict codes of honor and strategy. They respected strength but demanded respect. Human leaders realized that survival depended on more than weapons. It required understanding the Psi enemy's mindset. Captain Reed, despite the disaster at the nebula, volunteered for a risky mission, direct negotiations with the Vithari High Command. With a delegation aboard an unarmed vessel, Reed traveled deep into enemy space. The meeting was tense. The Vithari commander was cold and unyielding. "You trespassed," the commander stated bluntly. "You triggered the security of the Vithari. War was the consequence." Reed nodded. "We acknowledge our mistake and seek a path to peace." The negotiation was difficult, fraught with mistrust and old wounds. But Reed's sincerity and humanity's demonstrated resilience impressed the Vithari. After days of intense dialogue, a tentative ceasefire was agreed upon, with strict conditions and oversight. The war did not end immediately. Skirmishes continued, but the scale lessened. Both sides began to learn from each other, respect forming slowly where once there was only fear. In time, humanity earned a grudging respect from the Vithari. They were no longer seen as reckless newcomers, but as worthy adversaries and potential allies. The galaxy remembered the conflict, not just for the devastation, but for the lesson it imparted. That when humanity was pushed to the edge, when the galaxy's deadliest beings declared war, humans did not break. They adapted, they fought, and ultimately, they survived, not by sheer force alone, but by their indomitable will and capacity to learn. The message etched into galactic history was clear. Beware the species that laughs in the face of doom, for they may be the deadliest of all.